In this episode of Pickleball Breakdown, an 80-shot dink fest from Charleston, South Carolina. Now, to be honest with you, there's not a whole lot to break down on this play. All four players show a ton of patience, great footwork, wonderful paddle control, and soft touch. But there is one thing you should know about this play. It never, ever, ever should have lasted 80 shots. Listen up, folks. Alex and I are going to break it down. You know how this works. Send us your pickleball videos. Alex and I will break them down. We'll learn a little, laugh a little, and all get a whole lot better. This is Pickleball Breakdown.
You want to attack dead dinks or flat dinks, something that doesn't have a lot of action. Like there's a lot of passive dinks here that are speed up candidates.
Describe a dead dink for me.
Something that doesn't have a lot of action, something that's maybe sits up or just not a ton of top spin or slice. It's just kind of middle of the kitchen, nice bounce. Something, and everybody knows it when they see it.
Okay, I'm going to start by saying this: that the dead dink is my specialty. It's what I do, right?
I didn't teach him that.
Yeah, I did not learn that one from you. Tell me what I can do, or what these guys can do, to put some action on their dinks.
Footwork.
Yeah.
It begins and ends with footwork to me. You got to get behind that ball and be moving into your shot. And also, shot selection. For me, I slice most of my dinks that have a nice hop to them. If I'm taking the ball out of the air, though, I'm gonna brush up on the back of that ball and put some top spin and a good angle. And I also like to play with the depth of my dinks. If you're just dinking to the middle of the kitchen, safe, you're basically just saying, all right, here, you do something with it. I don't want to do anything with it.
What's the drill that you like to use to teach how to put some action on your dinking?
The best thing that I would recommend is playing kitchen games. So it's not out if it goes out of the kitchen, but you just play four people and you just play it out. Just like a regular point, you can speed up, you can lob, whatever. And I encourage my students to, all right, create space, dink deep, middle, dink deep, out wide, get your opponents moving, create separation, and look to exploit those gaps.
So as you're watching Luke and Jake and Anderson and Greg in their dink fest here, Are they doing some good dinks that do create space?
Sure. Yeah, there's definitely that. There's just a lot that aren't, that are just very safe and passive. And again, not wrong. I mean, there's something to be said for consistency too. They're not making errors, so that's great. But I don't know. I would just like to see somebody take the fight to their opponent earlier.
Talk about the mental side of it when you're in a match, especially in a tournament match. I tend to get overamped up in a tournament, and I get to be too aggressive. These guys, this is a rec play here. They're maybe a little bit too passive. Where's that balance, Coach?
I think you just have to be confident, and if you're going to go for your shot, go for your shot. You don't need to do anything special, anything different. Play your game, stick to your strategy. And I really like the idea of playing to your strengths first, play to your opponent's weaknesses second.
I love that idea. Because when I step on a court, I'm always thinking about what am I going to attack?
Your opponent doing?
What is my opponent doing?
No, yep. You got to play to your strengths first and foremost. If you don't have your strengths working, it doesn't really matter what their weaknesses are because you don't have your big dog ready.
Yeah. So give me an example of that if you can. I might be putting you on the spot here. What are you looking to do when you're in this situation?
I'm looking for blood. I'm looking for any window. I'm looking for any gap. If I see somebody get too comfortable or I feel like they're checking out, I look to exploit that. My strengths, as I see them, are speed ups and defense. And those complement each other really well because oftentimes I speed up a little prematurely maybe, but I bail myself out on defense and I'm willing to reset that next ball. I trust my hands, my defense, so if they're ready for it, all right, well, that didn't work that time, but I'm going to go back and try again later.
Okay, so my strengths are screw-ups and miss hits.
Perfect. And sometimes they work out though, right?
Right. Yeah. Oh, all the time. Yeah. Yeah. So I just had a thought. Maybe these guys were playing one of your kitchen games, and they said, "Okay, we're going to do 40 dinks first, and then we're going to attack."
There had to have been. Yeah, there's something on the line here. I don't know what it is, but and you know what? To be fair, I don't know any of these players. Maybe they all have crazy fast hands, and none of them want to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
You know, because and there is that, you see that at the pro level all the time. Yeah, I would attack this how I was playing, you know, like a 4-5, but if you're playing somebody who has phenomenal hands, you got to be a little more selective on when you speed that ball up.
So in that case, it's good to know your opponent well too.
Yeah, for sure. But that doesn't mean if your speed ups are a big asset of your game, that doesn't mean don't speed up because they have fast hands.
Yeah.
No, you still got to play your number one.
All right. Interesting, what we never see here, but which I encounter a ton of and seem to be encountering more and more, and we've talked about this on other of our episodes, is none of them ever do a lob to get out of that dink battle back into the corner or wherever. There's no lobs from the kitchen here, and there's only the one speed up.
Oh yeah, I would have lobbed probably 8 times already, and probably 4 of them would have been bad. But I don't know. Try something. I mean, I am just not interested in dinking all day. That's not what I would do. Again, these are not bad dinks. They're not. It's not smart.
Yeah.
You know, it's fine. It's just a little passive for what I would recommend or how I would play it.